Why does your paycheck look bigger than it ever has? Yet your life still feels like it's squeezing you from every side. You check your bank account, and the numbers say you're doing better. Your salary is higher than it was 2 years ago, maybe even double what you used to make. But somehow the pressure hasn't left, the stress hasn't eased. And that quiet voice in your head keeps asking, if I'm earning more, why does everything still feel so tight? Here's the uncomfortable truth most people don't say out loud. Income growth and lifestyle growth rarely move at the same speed, and when they don't, your peace is the first thing that disappears. At first, when your income rises, it feels amazing, almost addictive. Like you finally made it to a new level, you upgrade your phone, maybe your car. You move into a better apartment or start browsing houses in nicer neighborhoods. You tell yourself you deserve it because you worked hard, and you do deserve comfort. But here's what quietly happens in the background while you're celebrating: your fixed expenses climb. Your standards rise, your circle shifts, and your definition of normal changes without asking your permission. What used to feel like luxury becomes basic. What used to feel expensive becomes reasonable. And suddenly the income that once felt powerful now feels average. That's the trap. It's not that you're bad with money. It's not that you're ungrateful. It's that your brain adapts faster than your bank account can stabilize. You don't notice it at first. It's subtle. A new subscription here. A nicer dinner there. More frequent online orders because you're too busy. Convenience becomes routine. Routine becomes necessity. And necessity becomes pressure. Now your bigger income isn't building freedom. It's feeding obligations. And here's the part nobody warns you about. When your lifestyle inflates to match your income, you lose flexibility. Flexibility is power. Without it, even a high income feels fragile. One unexpected expense, one missed bonus, one slow month, and suddenly you're tense again. You start thinking, how am I still stressed at this level? Because income alone doesn't create security. Margin does. The gap between what you earn and what you commit to spending is what gives you breathing room. And most people erase that gap the moment they earn more. Social pressure plays a huge role too. Let's be real. When you start earning more, people treat you differently. They assume you're doing well. You feel subtle pressure to look like it. Nicer clothes, better vacations, more generous gifts. You don't want to look like you're stuck in your old phase. So you perform success instead of building it quietly. And performance is expensive. It costs money. It costs energy. It costs peace. Meanwhile, inflation creeps in silently. Groceries cost more, gas costs more, rent rises, insurance premiums jump, and suddenly your raise doesn't feel like a raise anymore. It feels like survival. You're earning more? Yes. But you're also spending more just to maintain the same standard of living. That's why your life still feels tight. Because you didn't actually expand your freedom. You expanded your commitments. And commitments are heavy. They sit on your shoulders every month when bills are due. Another reason this happens is psychological. When your income increases, your goals expand instantly. You no longer aim to get by. Now you want to invest, build a side business, travel more, support family, maybe retire early. The vision grows. But if your systems don't grow with your income, your stress multiplies. High income with no structure creates chaos. You're making more, but you don't have clarity. You don't know exactly where your money is going. You just know it's going somewhere. And that uncertainty creates tension. Let me ask you something, honestly. When was the last time you increased your income and didn't immediately increase your lifestyle? Most people can't answer that because the two happen together automatically. Raise equals upgrade. Bonus equals reward. New opportunity equals new expense. But what if that automatic reaction is exactly what's keeping you stuck? Short truth. Brutal truth. You don't feel tight because you earn too little. You feel tight because your income is trying to carry a lifestyle that grew too fast. And there's another layer most people ignore. Emotional spending. When you work harder to earn more, you feel more tired. When you feel more tired, you justify convenience. When you justify convenience, you spend more. Food delivery, quick shopping dopamine hits. Weekend escapes to recover. You tell yourself it's self-care. Sometimes it is. Often, it's compensation. You're paying to feel better because your schedule feels heavier. That's not financial failure. That's human behavior. But if you don't recognize it, it quietly drains your margin. And without margin, even 6 figures can feel tight. Let's talk about comparison for a second. Social media has redefined what normal looks like. You see people your age traveling first class, buying investment properties, launching brands, driving luxury cars, and you think, if they can do it, I should be able to as well. But what you don't see is debt. You don't see family support. You don't see risk tolerance. You don't see the full picture. You only see highlights, and highlights distort expectations. So you stretch yourself to match an illusion, and stretching creates tension. That tension is what you're feeling. It's not that your income isn't enough. It's that your expectations expanded faster than your stability. And here's something powerful. Most high earners learn late. Income is loud, wealth is quiet. Income shows up in conversations. Wealth shows up in options. If your income rises, but your options don't, something is misaligned. Options mean you can say no. Options mean you can take a break. Options mean one bad month doesn't shake your confidence. If you can't do those things, your income might be high, but your financial foundation is still thin, and thin foundations feel unstable. That instability is what creates the tightness. Now here's the hopeful part. This isn't permanent. Tightness is feedback. It's not punishment. It's a signal that your growth needs structure. Imagine this instead. Your income rises, but you freeze your lifestyle for 1 year. Just one. You let the extra money build cushion. You eliminate high-interest debt. You automate investments. You create a 6-month emergency buffer. Suddenly your income isn't just paying bills, it's buying time, buying calm, buying flexibility. That shift changes everything. Because peace doesn't come from the size of your paycheck. It comes from the size of your breathing room. And breathing room is built intentionally, not emotionally. Another shift that changes the game is redefining what rich means. If rich means visible upgrades, you'll always feel behind. If rich means control over your time and low stress, the strategy changes completely. You stop chasing appearance and start chasing margin. You stop upgrading everything and start upgrading your systems. You track, you plan. You decide in advance where your money will go instead of asking at the end of the month where it went. That single habit transforms tightness into clarity. And clarity reduces anxiety faster than any raise ever will. Here's something most people never admit. Sometimes the tight feeling isn't financial at all. It's identity pressure. When you earn more, you feel like you have to become someone bigger, smarter, more responsible, more impressive. That internal pressure can be heavier than bills. You start thinking you can't slow down. You can't make mistakes. You can't drop the ball. So even though your income is high, your nervous system is on edge. High income plus high pressure equals exhaustion. And exhaustion makes everything feel tight. Money amplifies who you are and how you think. If you were anxious at a lower income, you might be anxious at a higher one, too, just with bigger numbers attached. That's why the real shift isn't just financial. It's behavioral. It's learning to separate self-worth from net worth. It's learning to say, my value is not measured by how upgraded my life looks. Because once you detach your identity from your spending, you gain control again. Control feels like expansion. Lack of control feels like tightness. So if this is hitting you right now, if you're nodding quietly thinking, this is exactly how I feel, then pause and ask yourself 3 sharp questions. Did my expenses grow faster than my investments? Did my expectations grow faster than my income? Did my stress grow faster than my freedom? Those 3 answers will tell you everything. And here's the empowering part: you don't need to earn less to feel better. You need to realign. You need to build margin on purpose. You need to let income create space instead of noise. That might mean saying no to upgrades for a while. It might mean downsizing temporarily to reset. It might mean having uncomfortable conversations about spending habits. But short-term discipline creates long-term looseness. And looseness feels like freedom. Imagine waking up knowing your bills are covered for months ahead. Imagine not panicking over a surprise expense. Imagine taking a week off without calculating the financial damage. That feeling is possible at almost any income level if margin exists. Without margin, even a high income feels like a treadmill: fast, impressive, exhausting, and going nowhere. So if your income feels high but your life feels tight, it's not a failure. It's a signal, a wake-up call, a moment to choose intention over impulse. And here's what I want you to do right now. Be honest in the comments. Are you earning more than ever but still feeling pressure? Or have you figured out how to create breathing room? Share this with someone who needs to hear it, because most people are silently dealing with this and thinking they're alone. They're not, and neither are you. The goal isn't just to make more. The goal is to feel lighter while doing it. And that shift starts the moment you decide that a bigger paycheck should build a bigger life, not a heavier one.